Here's how we're going to start. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. This is how she's going to start it out.
Be upfront with women. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
We're going to do a little video response to this. And this is her video she just put out recently. It said, men play hard to get at your own risk.
Be upfront with women. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
When somebody starts a video out with you have nothing to lose but everything to gain, it's hard for, I'm just going to say, it's probably hard for a lot of men to take the rest of the video all that seriously, simply because we know that that is such a lie, because we've all been told to be upfront with women our whole life, and it never worked. But I have an open mind, and again, I give her a lot of credit on her hypergamy video, so I'm going to hear her out, but
If you want to be in a serious relationship, I'm not talking about one night stands and playing games, but if you want to be in a serious relationship, you should be upfront with your female date and tell her your intentions rather than playing hard to get.
okay, so I am glad, again, to be fair, I'm glad that she did separate if you're looking for a serious relationship rather than the one-night stand hookups, because we all know if you're actually looking to just get a hookup with a girl, you definitely don't want to be upfront. So I'm glad that she did clarify the two differences. However, what I think a lot of women don't understand, I think a lot of women have this in their mind that they think that like all guys want to be players and they just want to go around and sleep around with all the different women. But in my experience, every guy I've ever met has started with the intentions of just wanting a really cool girl. He just wanted a girlfriend. He just wanted her. Nobody that I have ever met has ever started this whole dating game and all that stuff going, yeah, you know what, I just want to go around and sleep with every single girl. And I think a lot of women don't realize that, but like me, I was an 18-year-old virgin. I was going to wait till marriage. I was going to save myself till marriage with a woman. I wanted to be the perfect husband. I wanted to be the perfect boyfriend. And I heard this type of whole thing about be yourself, be upfront, tell her how you feel. And so I just want all women to understand this, because again, they have this impaired reality of thinking what men want, because the men that they go for, the ones that are like the players or the bad boys, those guys just play the field. So then they start to assume that all men have that mentality, when in reality, most men I've ever met would rather just have like one really good girl, not do the whole sleeping around thing. However, a lot of guys end up getting fed up, or they learn the game and then they're like, well, screw this. Now they start to do the whole, player status and all that. But very few men ever go into it looking to be a player. So therefore, since most men start out by being like, yeah, I kind of want a girlfriend, every guy has tried this avenue and it just does not work, being upfront. But let's continue. Let's give her a chance to talk a little bit here.
I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so we've all heard this scenario. You're a guy, you've just gone on a date with a girl who you're attracted to, you can see yourself getting along in the future with, and you want to spend more time with her, you like spending time with her. So what do you do next? Do you A, play it cool and not give away in any way that you actually are into her? Or B, be upfront and actually tell her straight up that you're interested in her?
All right, guys, let's take a poll here. Let's take her quiz. All right, guys, A or B? She says you go on a date, you're attracted to a girl, you like her. What should you do? Should you A, play it cool, or should you B, tell her you're interested? What would you guys do, A or B?
So this is a video response from a commenter, Lancer DL. Hello, Lancer. I loved your comment and it made me want to do a follow-up video, so I'll read your comment out right now.
So guys, when she's going to read this comment, I want you guys to see this before, because she's going to zoom in on the comment, but this is important. Look at this on this top part here. I'm an engineer and have been married 15 years. We got to remember that for the comment that she's going to bring up here.
At least part of it. Alexander Grace doesn't think it's attractive for a man to declare his interest to a woman like he did you, and like I did with my girlfriend and now wife.
All right, so remember that, guys. So Alexander Grace, who I have heard of before, and I totally agree with this, it's not attractive for a man to declare his interest to a woman like he did you, and this guy is writing in, remember? And like I did with my girlfriend, now wife. Now remember though, they've been married for 15 years. And we have to take this into account because he says, well, here we go.
I disagree with him on this and feel it's what women want to hear. Did it make you more or less attracted to him? And
there's a lot I have to break down in this. All right, so the first thing is the guy has been married for 15 years, meaning they started dating somewhere, I don't know, a couple years before that, we'd probably assume. So anyway, we're looking around 20 years ago. There's been a huge shift in the entire game of dating in those 20 years, and that is called online dating and social media. So this guy who maybe at the time it worked because he has a wife now and seemingly maybe happy. Again, very low percentage chance of that. But 20 years ago, if he gave his interest to a girl, it might have been okay. Again, it would have been the best move for sure. But these days, what we know as guys, women have so many options on social media and online dating that if a guy does reveal his interest too early, then she simply gets rid of him. She has so many more options. So the guy that is bringing this up, again, this is a flawed statistic, even though it's just one guy anyway. It could just be an exception to the rule. But either way, this guy, he's disagreeing with it because he's going, well, I told my now wife that I liked her. I was upfront with her and it worked for me. One, that's an exception to the rule. Two, this was before online dating. Online dating has spiked hypergamy. Like it has changed the game so much, online dating and social media, that it's just not even comparable to 20 years ago when this guy did it. But we also have to remember this, guys. We have to remember this towards the end of the video. But he says, I disagree with him on this and feel it's what women want to hear. Just remember that. We'll tie it in later. And then one last thing here. There's a big difference here. And feel it's what women want to hear. Did it make you more or less attracted to him? Okay, so there's a difference between what a woman wants to hear versus what she is attracted to. There's a big difference between what makes her feel good when she hears it, compliments. Women will always tell you that they want compliments, versus what she is attracted to. The guy that always compliments her, we all know that becomes the simp, the beta mon, friend zone guy. So again, big difference, big discrepancy that has to be pulled apart if you're going to break down something like intersexual dynamics in a fair and logical way.
Referring to how I've spoken about in the past, my boyfriend on our first date, after our first date, just simply said, just so to clear this up, I'm interested in continuing to see you and I'm attracted to you, or something like that. I could probably eventually find the exact text messages. I probably should, actually.
But I think it's also, we have to understand too, I believe, does anyone know this, by the way? I believe Georgia here is, I think she's 27 or 28, I believe. So again, that also plays a factor. We'll tie into some of this stuff.
Thing. I haven't actually seen the videos from Alexandra Grace on this topic. I couldn't actually find them. If anyone could post them, that would be great. But so this is not a direct reply to Alexandra Grace. I'm just going to give my thoughts on the topic. So the theory is, it's like a commonly held belief that is, if you appear disinterested, if you appear that you're sought after, and thereby kind of imply that you're a popular man, that other women want to be with you, and so your attention is split. If you appear like that by being disinterested, by not getting back to a woman straight away, by sort of playing it hard to get, like all of that sort of stuff, if you do that, she'll be more attracted to you. That's the idea there. And then
correct. Right? So you guys can see, this is why I thought it was interesting to do, is you can see too that she can break things down. Like, that's correct. That is correct. Okay.
The other side, if you do appear like you're super duper keen and that you do kind of start chasing after her, then rather than letting her chase after you, that's kind of telling her that, oh, actually maybe he does have a lot of time on his hands, which means he's not popular among other people, which means I'm less attracted to him. That's the idea there.
Again, true. Everything I would teach. True.
Look, it is kind of basic human psychology. Most people will get sucked into being attracted to or wanting something that appears popular. Just look at the latest toilet paper shortage that we had during coronavirus, you know? But it's even...
Again, correct, true. All that true, supply and demand, whatever it makes him want it more.
Also important with women to men because of hypergamy, and I'll link my video above explaining all of that. Women especially want to have a man who appears popular because that has all of the other good things that might come with it as well.
Okay, so right there, guys, you saw that she linked what we just talked about, that the human psychology is that you want what you can't have. So again, the guy that is not texting her back all the time, the guy that's doing other things, he's focusing on his hobbies, he's focusing on work, he's doing his own stuff, he's going to the gym on his time. The idea is that, again, the harder it is to come by that time, the more valuable it is when he gives her time. So she respects the time more. Again, human psychology, we could all agree with. And then she even points out, she goes, it's even especially true with a woman's hypergamy because women are always looking for the highest status man. So she is linking the things. Like right here, her and I completely agree on this. However, this is again why what you're going to see and that we all know is that the logic is just not always there. Like she has the logic here. Now watch how she ties it together.
So I'm not going to go into that at the moment. So unfortunately, a lot of women will actually get a little bit of a kick or kind of spark of attraction out of a guy who appears super popular by playing hard to get and not, being upfront with the woman and kind of beating around the bushes. That they do get a little bit of more attraction out of that. And a lot of women do, I should say, but...
Okay, guys, now look at that. She's going, okay, so it's true that some women get a spike of attraction when that happens, when he's hard to get and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, well, okay, a lot of women. And now look at this face. This right here is the face that says, oh man, did I just logically disprove my entire, point of this video? Did I already do that? Shoot, then I would already have wasted 4 minutes and 16 seconds of this video. So maybe I will find a way to twist around the logic that I just laid out and now make it a little chaotic.
Let's think this through, right? I mean, come on, guys. If you are dating a woman who then...
Okay. Let's think this one through. All right? She goes, let's think this one through. The video cuts off. And now she comes back with her argument that we can see is not going to be based, again, on logic, which she just laid out logic very well. Again, I commend her for that. However...
seemingly just gets attracted to you because of the games that you're playing with her, because you're not getting back to her, because you're beating around the bush and being subtle. If she's getting attracted to you based on that quality, she's not seeing what's truly important.
Okay, agree. We can agree, right? We go, oh, that's silly that women fall for these games type things. That's silly, If she's going to fall for those, then, she's not falling for the right things. And again, correct, true. That's what a lot of guys go, yeah, we get it. But women's attraction does not respond to logic. So logically we're like, yeah, she shouldn't like a guy just for that. Logically, girls go, well, I shouldn't like a guy for that. But again, women don't follow that logic when they are selecting men, or else they wouldn't continually go back to the bad boys or the guys that they know are not good future long-term prospects for the idea of a family or whatever, if that's what a woman wants.
Not seeing you and your more salient qualities, which are the qualities that are going to make the relationship last anyway between you. She isn't getting attracted to you based on qualities that will last. Women who are truly...
Yes, I know. We know this. Us guys know this. This is why we sit back and laugh. We're like, we can sit here from an armchair quarterback and be like, okay, between those two guys, all of us guys could logically be like, yeah, she should definitely go for that guy. That guy's going to be the better long-term. But we all know, we sit back and we laugh, we go, but she's gonna go for Chad and Tyrone. We just know it. So we sit back and we laugh, and this is why so many guys are like sitting on the sidelines. Again, this is where guys are just like, okay, we see why it doesn't make sense, and that is why we are not participating in that arena. Because we see the logic and we see the lack of logic, and we're like, it doesn't make sense.
Like that, if that's how they are getting attracted to someone, and they're letting that let themselves get caught up in that, rather than looking through the BS and just figuring out who you are. Those sort of women, they're the people you don't want to. Did I just say women's? Those sort of women, they're the people that you don't want to date. Like, you should be thinking twice about dating them in the first place.
Again, which is why so many guys. This is exactly why so many guys go, yeah. Those are not the type of women I want to date. However, when I look around, those are the only women that are out there to date because, again, hypergamy. Again, the social influence that women have. So that is the whole point. That's why us guys are like, yeah, we get that doesn't make sense, which is why we're logically not participating in that whole game. Exactly why, because of what she's breaking down here. Don't date these types of women. Remember, guys, don't date those types of women, the ones that fall into their biological hypergamy. Don't date those type of women. However, right, we all know that all women are going to fall into that hypergamy. That's going to be a part of them. So what type of women would you date then? The question many guys are asking.
Dating is only going to go on further dates with you by you appearing exclusive and hard to get. I mean, to me, that's a red flag for the woman, from my point of view. When all the mystery is gone and when she sees who you truly are, is she then going to stick around? Because let's be real, you can't play this game forever in a relationship. Actually, in fact, the point I'm trying to make here is that you never should if you actually want to have a relationship that lasts.
Okay, there it is, guys. There it is. Okay, so she talks about how, all right, it's a red flag if a girl is going to be disinterested in you because you don't put up mystery. You don't play this game, which we all know, right? Every guy knows because we've tried. We've tried the other way. We've tried to be up front, and it just doesn't work. So by her logic, then, every guy should go, well, every woman then is a red flag because she's not going to stay interested if I am up front in the way that she's telling me that. Then she even goes, and plus, why would you definitely don't want that type of woman because you cannot possibly keep that game up the entire relationship. Which, again, is why the guys that have sat down and have put the logic down on paper and they have like really ran through it and they've dug through. The more you research, the more you dig in, you land on the philosophy basically that there's really no way to play it in today's society because of everything going on. There's no smart way for a man to actually play it if you're going to try to commit to something like that. Again, when guys have dug through all the logic, then they see that this is the point. And we all know this. All the guys that know this, there could be guys that argue against this. They could argue a point or two. But if we sat down and talked it through logically, we could come to this conclusion that, yeah, guys, it's basically impossible to keep her happy in today's society, today's culture, with everything bombarded at her. And I think Georgia will understand this because, well, sort of in a sense, like logically, I think she'll understand this in that sense because she does understand hypergamy from at least a year ago. She understood it when she sat down and like laid it all out. But again, that is why the guys that have laid it all out and then they go and they're like, wait a second. Yeah, I understand what works, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable long term. So again, that's why most guys go, well, I don't want to commit to anything long term. It's not sustainable. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.